My name is Sophia Evans, and I'm 28 years old. Today, when I see hundreds of people working below my luxurious office, a strange smile automatically appears on my face. But friends, this smile did not come just like that. There is a story behind it, of pain, of loneliness, and of courage. A story that started when I was just 18 years old. 10 years ago, my life was different. I was an ordinary girl who dreamed big, but there was no direct path in front of her to reach that dream city. My own family was ashamed of me. Yes, shame. In family functions, when relatives ask, "What's Sophia doing now?" So mother would often lower her eyes, and father would just turn his head. Sometimes it even happened that my name was not even mentioned, as if I was some page of their life that should be torn and thrown away. The most hurtful words for me were the ones I heard from my loved ones. Useless. Failed. Slanderer. Every day, with every small failure, I would hear a new taunt. Nothing will happen to you. Get married, take care of the house. Stop dreaming, Sophia. The world is run by reality, not dreams. Many times, I actually asked myself, am I really useless? Is my dream really just a false hope? It had become my habit to lie down on the bed and cry secretly every night. Hiding my head under the bedsheet and shedding tears into the pillow, I used to think only this. Am I really wrong? Can I really do nothing? But, strange isn't it? Sometimes the brightest light is born in the deepest darkness. Instead of breaking me, those taunts shaped me. Instead of making me weak, those tears made me stronger. Every blow lit a fire inside me, a fire that couldn't be extinguished. I started doing small jobs. Waitress shifts after college, working until midnight. Tutoring children in the spare hours of the day. Taking on freelance projects, do whatever you can, as much as you can. Many times, the condition would become such that after tiring the whole day, one would not be able to sleep as soon as one fell on the bed late at night. But in a corner of the heart, a small flame kept burning continuously. A voice that said, "Don't stop, Sophia, don't give up." When the whole world was sleeping, I used to weave dreams in the dim light of my laptop screen. When the world was laughing, I was building the buildings of my future in Excel sheets. I knew that my path was not easy. I wasn't going to find any shortcuts. I wasn't going to have a godfather. I wasn't expecting any magical miracles. Just one day, one night. Promised myself. Not loudly, gently. But there was full life in that promise. If anyone in this world will fulfill my dream, it will be me. If I have to prove something to the world, I have to prove it to myself first. If I break, everything will be right. If I get up, history will be made. After that night, the crying stopped. The complaints stopped. Not just seeing dreams, now I started living them. Stumbled several times. Many times it felt as if everything was over. But every time, I reminded myself, Sophia, you are that girl who is not afraid even of her own failure. Every little success, whether it's a new client or a small sale, it was a piece of new hope for me. I started building my own world from those pieces. Dreams were no longer just dreams. He had now become my mission. My identity. My existence. Today when I look back, so every taunt, every tear, every night seems more precious to me. Because if he didn't, so today's Sophia also does not exist. Years of hard work. Years of loneliness. Years of silent war. Finally it paid off. When I was 18, I had no money, no identity, and no backup plan. There was just a dream, and unwavering faith in that dream. Today, 10 years later, I, Sophia Evans, I own my own company. Not just a company. Rather, an entire building where hundreds of people now dream, work, and build their lives every day. Yes, same building. Whom I used to see in my imagination. Today it is actually in my name. Every brick, every wall, every window. This is a witness to my hard work. Of those countless nights of mine, where I used to work even while crying. But the most interesting twist in this story was my family. A few months ago, when I was in the process of buying a building. So I deliberately did not make any noise. Neither told anyone, nor posted on social media. No fancy celebrations. No press release. With just a silent signing, I got that building in my name. And then, one day I realized that many of my family members are also working in the same building, in different companies. When I first saw him coming and going there, then there was a slight prick in the heart. A strange pain, and with it a calm smile. Those people who once said that I can't do anything. Who called me failed, worthless, and infamous. Now they were trying to fulfill their dreams under my roof. And the fun thing? They still don't know that the same girl is the owner of this entire building, of which he was once ashamed. Many times I pass through the lobby. I sit in a coffee shop and read my files. And I look at them. Without saying anything. Without showing his true face. I see how he is busy with his work. Sometimes we get tired and fall on the chair. Sometimes I hold my head with tension in meetings. Sometimes they laugh and joke in the corridor. And I keep watching silently. Nor any pride. No taunt. No pretense. Just a deep peace inside the heart. That the fruit which was grown with so much pain, he is giving real sweetness now. Every day when I come to office, I look at my building like a mother looks at her child. Every door, every light, every wall. A witness to my hard work. Every day when I look at the faces of my family. So a faint echo of a silent victory arises in the heart. No feeling of revenge. No kind of hatred. Just peace. A deep peace. And then, I say to myself, slowly, smiling, the fruit of patience is the sweetest. Many people have asked me, Sophia, will you tell them you own this building? I just smile. Because real victory happens then. When you don't have to beat the drum of your victory. When your work speaks for itself. When your success becomes so big that he automatically started appearing in everyone's eyes. Even today I am the same Sophia, who was once considered weak. But now there is strength behind my silence, which cannot be broken by any taunt or insulting words. I know, maybe one day they will know the truth. Perhaps in some meeting, in some document, in some discussion. But when we will know, then they will realize that whom he considered failed. That has become his biggest inspiration today. It is said, God has his own way of writing poetic justice. My story is also similar. I did not take any revenge. I didn't make any pretense. I just believed in myself. And quietly built my empire. Why? There was a different atmosphere in the office yesterday. There was movement in the air. There was curiosity on the faces of the employees. Everyone was invited to a special meeting. There was only this discussion in every corner of the building. What is happening? Who's coming? Why such a big meeting? I was standing silently behind the glass door of my office. Was looking at all the views. Every step, every smile, every whisper. It was increasing the excitement inside me. And then, the clock struck exactly 11 o'clock. A solemn voice echoed from the speaker. Attention everyone! The entire hall became silent. Every eye was fixed on the stage. The voice came again from the speaker. Today we are going to bring before you a very special person. A man without whose hard work, struggle, and vision we would not be here today. The person who is the real owner of this entire building. People looked at each other with surprise. Many faces were confused. Someone jokingly said, "Maybe there's a billionaire investor." But no one had the slightest idea that they are going to hear the name of that owner, which was once ignored, which was once rejected, which was once called failed. Please welcome Ms. Sophia Evans. As soon as I hear the name, the entire hall remained silent. Complete silence. As if time had stopped. Hundreds of pairs of eyes turned towards me simultaneously. Many mouths remained open. Many eyes went wide. And amidst the crowd, the faces of my own family. The expression on his face. It is difficult to describe it in words. Surprise. Embarrassment. Disbelief. And a deep silence. My mother had tears in her eyes. Papa's eyes were lowered. There was a strange uneasiness on the faces of the brothers and sisters. That Sophia, whom he had once considered a failure. Today the entire hall was echoing with his name. I stepped onto the stage. With every step, she left behind her old wounds. With every step, she changed her old tears into a smile. Standing in front of the mic, I took a deep breath. The entire hall was still completely silent. Everyone was eager to hear my next thing. Smiling, I began. Whatever you are seeing today is not the result of a miracle. This is the result of countless nights when everyone was sleeping and I was awake. This is the result of dreams that the world laughed at and rejected, but I did not let them die. I swept my eyes across the hall. Every face was full of emotions. There was inspiration in some eyes. Regrets in some. And in some, the spark to rekindle your own dreams. I continued smiling. I know some people here never believed me. But believe me, I have never taken revenge on anyone. I just had faith in myself. And today, that faith has become my greatest strength. Without taking anyone's name, without pointing a finger at anyone. Answered every taunt with his words. Paid for every ridicule. In the most beautiful and peaceful way of words. While coming down from the stage, I looked at my family once again. There was no longer just surprise in his eyes. Now there was pride there too. There was some shame also. And most of all, respect. That respect, which probably never existed before. That day, I realized what real victory is. Real victory happens when you do it without revenge, without making any noise. Just by their hard work and their faith they force the world to bow down. For me it was not just a meeting. It was a public victory in a quietly fought battle. This was the result of a decade of penance. Even today when I remember that moment. So I say one thing to myself. Sophia, the patience you maintained became your greatest weapon. The silence you wore became your loudest scream. And to tell the truth, the sweetest victory is that where there is no change, only peace. The mic was in my hands. The entire hall was still silent. Every breath, every heartbeat, seemed to be waiting for my next line. I took a deep breath. Strengthened his smile a little more. And then, in just one line, he told his entire story, his entire struggle, his entire victory. Sometimes the dreams the world laughs at are the ones that make history. My words kept floating in the air. Their echo bounced off the walls. And gradually it entered every heart. I did not give any long speech. Didn't say any big things. Neither did he ask for revenge from anyone. Neither gave clarification to anyone. Just smiled peacefully. Because today the fight was over for me. The wounds that once kept me awake at night. Today those wounds were smiling like a glow of victory on my face. As I walked down the stage, I looked at my family once again. Their faces had changed. No book can write the emotion that was in his eyes. Can't show any picture. There were tears of regret in his eyes. There was a shadow of shame on the cheeks. The eyes were downcast. But the strange thing was, there was no anger in my heart towards him. No hatred. No taunt. There was no wound left. There was only a deep peace. A sweet peace. I knew. Time had taken its revenge on me today. But very quietly, very beautifully. Real revenge lies in shouting no. Nor in humiliating the other person. Real revenge is to raise oneself so high that the other person bows his head. After that meeting, many people tried to meet me. Many wanted to apologize. Many wanted to reminisce about their old stories. But I just smiled and waved. No complaints, no accounts. What had happened was now the past. My focus now was only on my future. On my dreams, which once seemed completely impossible, but had now become my reality. At night when I was standing in the balcony of my office, the entire building was bathed in moonlight. The same building which I used to see from a distance, in dreams. Today she was mine. Every wall, every door, every light, were testifying to my hard work. I raised my head and looked towards the sky. And whispered to myself, Sophia, this is your greatest revenge, your quiet victory. Even today if someone asks me, what is the greatest happiness? So I smile and answer, when your success itself becomes the loudest voice, and you don't have to say anything.